Hey, it's Louis here from jaselikesbikes and here to help you with getting your pedals on and off. So probably got a few tricks I can show you. Let's get into it. So one of the first things we need to do is identify the different tools that we need. There's two main ones. You're either going to need an Allen key or a pedal spanner. Some pedals you can use both, some just one or the other. The key thing here is once you've decided which one you need, if it's a pedal spanner, you want a long leverage, same with an Allen key. If you've got a short leverage, you might not be able to get the pedals off, which is not good fun. Putting pedals on a bike, a few little tricks before you get into it. If the pedal threads are dry, it's a good idea to put some lubricant on them. In terms of what you use, you don't have to be too fussy, especially if you're taking your pedals on and off often. If you are planning to leave them on for a long period of time, it's a good idea to put a waterproof grease in there that's not going to wash away. Once we know that they're lubricated, in this case these ones are fine, they've got a bit of grease on them, we then have to identify which is the left and which is the right pedal. Not always easy, because sometimes they don't have any markings on them. In this case they do. So one has an L and one has an R. The left and right markings on the pedals tend to be near the threads, just at the base of the pedal. So L for left pedal, R for right. If they don't have those markings, you then start guessing, you're going which one's which, and we see it every now and again where people try and thread the right hand pedal into the left hand crank, and that's a major boo-boo. So how do we fix that? This is a really big trick that I learned a long time ago. So when we hold the pedal upwards with the thread upwards, the right hand pedal, if we're looking at the threads, they angle up to the right. Versus the left hand pedal, when we hold it upwards, the threads angle up to the left. So now that we're ready to put the right hand pedal back in the right hand crank, we've got it here. The key thing here is to start threading the pedal in by hand. So it should be nice and easy to thread in. So you'll know when you get it right because you'll be able to pretty much put it all the way in by hand. If it's not going in easily, you should clean the threads, have a look and make sure there's no debris, or even more importantly, make sure you're using the right hand pedal to put into the right hand crank. So once we put it almost all the way in by hand, we can then use our tool. And now controversial as to how tight you need to do it. If you don't do it tight enough, the pedal could come off or creak. This is one of the major areas where bikes can creak. If you do it too tight, you're not going to get it off. A good thing to think about is the tools we've talked about using to remove the pedals have a long lever on them. For tightening the pedals up, we only need to use about half of that lever. So when we're tightening the pedal up, we put our tool in, go halfway down the lever and do it up firm. Okay, cool. So if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below. We're happy to answer them.